Tuesday, February 14th. I'm Amy Corr, and I'm here with Kevin Van Eck, and we are actually in a different location. We are in the conference room in our Winnetka office. Grab your coffee, and let's jump into the next episode of Coffee with Amy and Kevin in Winnetka.
Let's do it. Thanks for joining us this morning. So we're going to talk about social media. We're not going to talk tactical. We're going to talk more theory, and we're going to keep it really high level. And what's interesting is we know that social media is big. It's been big forever. Some of us resist it. We're going to talk about that. But the basics that we're going to cover are going to help both new, if you're just diving into social media and you haven't been consistent or posting anything at all, and if it scares you, but also for those that are highly active in social media, because there's a right way to do it and to use social media to grow your business. So we're just going to talk through 4 basics, and this will be an ongoing discussion this year through 2023.
All right, when we talk about social media, let's face it, it is not the most natural thing for all of us. In fact, even Kevin and I were talking about how it's hard for us, to make sure that we're posting and doing the things that we should be doing. So we get it. But what we also need to recognize, all of us, is that social media isn't going away. And it's going to continue to really be a big part of you developing your brand and you getting in front of your audience. So you've got to just do it. And the thing that you want to think about is really being authentic. I know that's one of the biggest struggles when we're looking at, getting into LinkedIn or Facebook or TikTok, whatever it may be, is like, how do I do this? How do I, create some sort of persona? You don't have to make it up. Just be yourself and be authentic. And I want to, kind of lean back to a conversation I had a couple of weeks ago when I was at Inman and I saw Glenda Baker on the big stage. And she was on there because of her own journey with social media. She now is a TikTok phenom, but she didn't start out that way. In 2016, she was just like a lot of us, sitting in the audience and saying, how am I going to make space for myself here, given that so many people have already done this? They're on all of these platforms. And I think what she ended up doing was really just deciding, there's only one Glenda Baker, and I'm just going to be me, do me, and just be authentic. And it has done incredible things for her. So again, you don't have to go to that realm. Take baby steps. But when you are going to step into the social media arena, just remember, people want to hear from you, who you are, what you have going on. So being authentic, quite honestly, is going to resonate.
Yes, so number 2 in our series of basic tips today in social media is bring value. So we all see what each other post. We see all the posts that are out there. So many of them aren't actually creating value for the audience. What do I mean when creating value? It means educating. It means something that could be funny, and I mean truly funny. And the third thing that you could do is really something that's interesting, right? So I think about a couple of different things when it comes to real estate. What's interesting to your audience? Is it what happens during an inspection? Maybe. That's educational. But on the other hand, if someone's not in the market right now, which probably 90% of your audience is not in the market, how are they utilizing the instructions on how to approach an inspection? Right. And on this note too, also, make it about them, not about you. If you're posting your stats every day and all of this information that's really pushing and selling you, that's not a win. Talk about them. Think about what you can give, because they will give back.
I love that. And I love the idea of really almost putting yourself in their shoes of what would I want to be seeing if I knew that somebody was in real estate, but also knew them as an individual. What kind of content do I want? So sometimes getting out of that space of what you think you need to deliver and thinking about what they really do want. I love that. And then this one is really important, I think, and I don't think we oftentimes do this enough, but number 3 is respond and engage. And I will even say I'm not good enough at this by any means. But if we're posting stuff, we want people to see it. We want people to like it. We want people to say something. And oftentimes they do, and then crickets.
Nothing.
We don't do anything back. Part of social media is creating a dialogue or a conversation or a connection with others. So keep that in mind. When you're posting something, it isn't just about the post. It's also, how can I engage with these people? How can I maybe create a deeper connection because there's interesting comments that are going back and forth? Now, what I will say is I know that we can all go into the big rabbit hole of being on social media, and suddenly hours later, I've been spending all of this time responding back and commenting to people who've commented on my posts. I get it. So what you want to do is maybe figure out, how do I structure, some time blocking into my social media to make sure that you are allowing time to maybe respond, but again, you kind of don't go down that rabbit hole. So I know it's a bit of a finesse, but responding and engaging is a really critical part of your social media and getting your engagement up. So keep that in mind and figure out a plan for how you can do that consistently.
So number 4, to wrap this up, and this is where I'm going to get a little bit passionate, which is, we've said that you don't have to be on social media. You don't have to be. It comes down to what your business goals are. So if you're happy where you are, you're happy with your database and the engagement and the sales and the volume and the relationships and everything that you've created, you're happy where you are and you're not currently on social media, great. No problem. If you're interested in growing your business and, most importantly, scaling your business at a level you can't do otherwise, you have to be on social media. So let's stop making excuses about, I don't know how it works, or TikTok is for teens. It's not. Look at Glenda Baker as an example, and there are plenty of other examples out there who have grown their business immensely from social media. It's not too late, as Amy said. We need to stop making excuses. Here's the reason why. You may hate social media, you may not like Facebook, you may think it's taking down society. Your consumers are there. If you want to increase your market share, you must be on social media. If you want to generate new relationships and new business, use value, do it consistently, be authentic, and respond and engage.
I love it. I love when he's so passionate about a point, but he's right. Social media, as we said at the beginning of this, isn't going away. So you need to figure out, what is your relationship to it going to be, and figure it out. Again, make your own authentic path. There isn't a right or a wrong. It's just recognizing that maybe I do need to engage with this because it could really impact your relationships, but also your business. So we hope you got some great ideas as we threw out these 4 tips. Again, we've kind of just touched the surface as it relates to social media. We hope to give you more great insight and ways to make it a great part of your business. But until then, take these in, give them a shot, and give it a try. Most importantly, just be authentic and do it your way, right? And until then, enjoy your warm cup of coffee, make it a great Tuesday, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week. But remember,
you got this.
You got this.
Also, happy Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's right.